A lawsuit against a former Oklahoma City police officer has been dropped. Your allergies might be worse than usual. We have the details on why. And one Norman family is asking the community for help. Find out what you can do to help coming up. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Carolynn Felling.
And I'm Roddy. We begin tonight with an update on a lawsuit against a former Oklahoma City police officer convicted of rape. Cameron Joyner is live in the newsroom with the details.
The lawsuit against a former Oklahoma City police officer has been dropped. In 2015, Daniel Holtzclaw was convicted of raping women while on duty. On August 10th, all but 7 women's cases were dismissed after they missed a deadline to file reports for the trial. The remaining 7 women filed a joint stipulation in the U.S. District Court. Holtzclaw is in an out-of-state prison but will be moved to Oklahoma for the federal lawsuit trial. The federal lawsuit trial will be held in late 2022.
Thanks, Cameron. Today is the first official day of fall, and it's beginning to feel like it. But will it stick around? Coy Taylor is here to give us a first look at the forecast. Coy, can I bring my flannels out this weekend?
Yes, that's right. We're outside Gaylord Hall right now. It's a little chilly here in the shade after we saw a cold front come through overnight, but I hope you're breathing easy. Allergies a big deal here in Oklahoma City. We're under a very high alert from the Oklahoma Allergy and Asthma Clinic for ragweed, and the wind out of the northeast just bringing in that pollen as well, stirring up the air. Let's get you out the door this afternoon. Take a live look at current temperatures across the state. We're in the 50s across northern Oklahoma, 59 there in Woodward, and here's our temperature change. It is feeling way colder than it was yesterday. 39 degrees the temperature change in Guyman, 40 in Enid. We're to what would be 15 degrees colder than we were 24 hours ago here in Norman. And let's get a look at that allergy report from the Oklahoma Allergy and Asthma Clinic. We are seeing ragweed, very high category, grass and trees high as well, and the mold coming down some. We haven't seen rain in a while. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Coy. Now to the latest on Hurricane Fiona. President Joe Biden met with FEMA officials in New York this morning to focus on the disaster response to the storm that hit Puerto Rico. The president said that there is water and other supplies available.
There's still dozens of shelters that are still available and open. But too many homes and businesses are still without power, without clean drinking water. And yes,
the president says he is authorizing 100% federal funding for debris removal, search and rescue operations, and power restoration on the island.
And we are getting new information on just how serious the destruction from Hurricane Fiona is in the area. Mecca Thompson has that and the rest of today's international headlines from the News Center. Mecca.
Bella, that is right. Fiona is now a monstrous Category 4 and is making its way towards Bermuda. We know at least 5 people have been killed in the storm, and the massive rain is not measuring in the amount of feet, not inches. Mudslides have been triggered in the Caribbean and Puerto Rico, and thousands are without power and water. All part of the reason President Biden has asked for special funding. President Joe Biden will attend a Democratic National Committee event tomorrow focusing on the upcoming midterm elections. The event will be held in Washington, emphasizing Biden's economic agenda and legislative wins. With the race 50 days away, this will serve as another opportunity for the president to highlight his political strengths and draw his comparisons to the Republican Party. Traffic on Finland's eastern border is intensifying by the hour as the demand for flights out of Russia skyrocket. The long lines include people fleeing after President Vladimir Putin announced a partial mobilization. Currently, over 1,300 people have been detained across Russia as a result of a crackdown on anti-war protests. And ladies, the CIA has launched a new podcast to help Americans understand the intelligence of the agency's role. It seems very interesting. I might be tuning in. What about you guys?
Back in Oklahoma, in a historic small town is taking action to bring the new people and businesses to their company. Spencer is developing a new and affordable housing for its residents. OU Nightly's Romella Woodfork has the details.
Spencer, Oklahoma is a small, quiet town, but a change is echoing through the wind. The city is partnering with L&W Development to help build a stronger community.
This housing development is what we hope to be the springboard of our economic development process here in the city of Spencer.
The neighborhood will be located off of 36th and North Midwest Boulevard, surrounded by commercial businesses.
Our way of giving our city some hope for new development and showing that our city is on the upswing and ready for development and for businesses to come in and do some positive things for us and with us.
Developer Lance Wendell hopes it won't just bring new residents, but old ones too.
We're trying to get housing here so that they can come home. They can come back to Spencer. It's where they were raised, and and maybe they've gone off, they've done good things, but they'd like to get back to their roots. And without housing, it's hard for them to do that.
Wendell says Spencer is one of the best cities in Oklahoma.
Today, I'm working in probably 12 cities and towns in the state of Oklahoma, and Spencer has been one of the best ones to work in.
He also says these 3 to 4 bedroom homes are perfect for a family to set up roots. In Spencer, Oklahoma, Romella Woodfork, OU Nightly.
These homes are expected to rent for about $1,000 a month, which will turn into escrow at year 6, which translates to credit for a down payment after 15 years. And a local Norman family is asking for the community's help this Monday as they battle the unthinkable. 3-year-old Anakin Oakley is set to have open heart surgery at the end of October. Every parent's worst nightmare is a reality for Sierra and Logan Oakley. Travel and hospital expenses are heavy weight to bear, but help is on the horizon as Bad Daddy's Burger Bar will be hosting a fundraiser benefiting Anakin's cause Monday, September 26th. 20% of all sales for the entire day on Monday will go to the Oakley family. And Logan actually works at Bad Daddy's, where manager Kim says that they will take care of their own.
And I just got to thinking, I'm like, how can we help? How can we help? And then I was like, well, we do fundraiser nights for any other type of organization, so let's do it for our own guy. And I said, I want to take care of him and his family because, we're extended family here. We like to think that anyway. So.
The Oakley family asked the community to come out and enjoy a good burger for a good cause. OU Nightly's Cameron Joyner sat down with the family, and we'll have more on the story tomorrow.
That's right, and coming up, more people are surviving cancer than ever before.
Coming up, we look into how the cancer survival rate in the U.S. has increased over the past few years. And find out why Dolly Parton is making an impression on Norman kids. Hello, welcome back to OU Nightly. News on Ebola outbreak, less cancer-related deaths, and one way to reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. Liv Walbeck has that and more in Health Beat.
That's right, an Ebola outbreak has been declared in Uganda by the World Health Organization after a rare Sudan strain was found. As of Tuesday, there have been several suspected cases, including the deaths of a 24-year-old man and a 1-year-old. Uganda has already experienced 4 Ebola outbreaks, the deadliest being in 2000. Ugandan medical professionals are working closely with the national health authorities to investigate the outbreak source, and for the time being, individuals showing symptoms are undergoing isolation. The overall cancer death rate is continuing to drop as more people in the U.S. are surviving cancer than ever before. The past 3 years, the number of cancer survivors living in the U.S. increased by more than 1 million, according to the American Association for Cancer Research. As of January, 18 million cancer survivors were in the U.S., and by 2040, this number is expected to increase to 26 million. And while your cup of joe adds some pep to your step, you might want to consider drinking several cups of tea instead. New research shows that drinking 4 cups of black, green, or oolong tea could reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. A substance found in many plants has certain antioxidant properties that can prevent bodily cell damage. And I'm not normally a tea drinker, but after hearing all these benefits, it might be time to make the switch.
Thanks, Liv. You know what? Maybe I should be switching out my morning coffee for tea instead. Now, Dolly Parton is leaving an impact on the kids in Norman with her recently launched Imagination Library. The program kick-started at the beginning of September and already has 1,000 registered families. Parents can sign up their children to receive a free book each month until their 5th birthday. The Imagination Library is already bringing millions of books to kids every month in 5 different countries.
The bigger picture of it is, just getting books in the hands of kids that need them. And just kind of removing that barrier and finding that access so that kids and families can build their own libraries through this project.
Families that live in Cleveland, McLean, or Potawatomi counties are eligible and can sign up through the Pioneer Library System website. Now we're going to throw it over to Coy Taylor for another look at our weather.
What can we expect, Coy, for this weekend's Parents Weekend?
We're expecting hot conditions continuing across the state as we go over the next couple of days, so be sure to hydrate if you are headed out to Parents Weekend. We'll be back with the full... Welcome back to OU Nightly, and we'll get a look at the drought monitor that just came out today, and we saw drought worsening, especially down towards the McAllister area. You see this area of exceptional drought, and that's not going to bode well as we head into the fall season. Happy first day of fall. It's the fall equinox today at 8:03 p.m. tonight, and that's when we see the sun rays hit directly on the equator of the Earth, meaning equal amounts of daylight for all of us in the northern and southern hemisphere as we start fall. We usually see a little bit of an uptick in precipitation as we start fall here in September, but we haven't seen that this September. Live look outside, clear skies across the South Oval right now. As we go, the moms basking in the sunshine. I saw little flower buds on some of the moms out there, so we're expecting their bloom here as we head towards homecoming. 84 degrees, sunny skies, like I Mentioned, at Max Westheimer Airport here in Norman. Current temperatures a little cooler in the northwest metro. Watonga 67, Kingfisher 71, with that cold front kind of stalled out as it moved down towards the southeastern Oklahoma. And as we go over the next couple of hours, we're expecting temperatures remain in the 80s, 70s, and then we're going to touch those upper 60s as we head up to sunset. So pick it up at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Some showers in the northwest. Those kind of fizzle out as we go throughout the day on Friday. Maybe some more scattered showers as we head Friday evening across the northwest. And then Saturday morning, we could have a few scattered sprinkles, maybe a spotty downpour, especially in southern Oklahoma. But around 4 p.m. on Saturday, you can see really lighting up south of I-40. And then as we go towards game time here, as we kick off at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, we're going to be dry here in Norman. That shifts into far southeastern Oklahoma and southern Oklahoma across the Red River. So lows for tonight, we're expecting temperatures in the 60s, 150 on the board there up towards Guyman, 60s, 70s here in the middle portion of the state where that cold front doesn't really get to. We're expecting a little warmer temperatures. Then highs for tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be in the 90s, another hot one. Then again on Saturday, more hot weather for game day, 95 degrees of temperature here in Norman. So here's your State Fair forecast the last weekend of the Oklahoma State Fair. We're expecting temperatures around 93 degrees for your Friday, 95 on Saturday, a little bit cooler Sunday as we're tracking another cold front rolling through the area. Here's your 7-day forecast again, 93 degrees tomorrow, a little warmer on Saturday. Then we get a touch cooler as we head into next week with temperatures back down in the 80s thanks to a cold front arriving Sunday night into Monday. Bella, Carolyn, back to you.
Thanks, Coy. Next on OU Nightly, Milena Semere is going to tell us what the Sooners can expect against K-State this weekend.
That's right, guys. The Sooners are back under the lights this Saturday to take on the K-State Wildcats. And the reigning champs OU softball will break ground on their new facility this week. Sports is next. I'm Milena Semere, and it's time for sports. The Sooners are back at the Palace this Saturday with their first Big 12 game of the season. OU will host Kansas State, who has won 2 of the last 3 matchups against Oklahoma. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. under the new LED lights, a new addition to the game day atmosphere for the players and the fans.
Towards the end was, the greatest game atmosphere I've ever been a part of, especially with everyone cheering for me. I mean, I've been in places like that. But, I was always on the other side of it, which wasn't very fun. But now that, it's us and, all the LEDs in the atmosphere, it was a game changer.
When you see those LEDs go off and you're on the other side of it, you're on that other sideline, it's like, oh, snap. We're in it now. We're in here now. Because I remember playing in a stadium, the LEDs going off, and I was like, I'm scared. I'm a little scared now. So it's definitely good. It definitely plays a part in in the home atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? It gets the crowd going.
With Oklahoma moving to the SEC, the annual Bedlam rivalry with Oklahoma State will be no more. Yesterday, former OU head coach Bob Stoops chimed in on the Big 12 today regarding the situation. Stoops says, and quote, "We're going to be fine. You think we're going to struggle filling the stadium with the teams we're going to have coming in?" The Sooners won 90 games in the Bedlam series against the Cowboys. And the Oklahoma softball program will break ground on Love's Field, the future new home for the back-to-back national champions. The $42 million project will bring in new facility improvements and will be an expansion of the current softball complex. The groundbreaking and the ceremony will take place this Friday at 1:30 p.m. For more Sooner sports on the slate this week, volleyball will take on UT for a Red River matchup. Oklahoma soccer starts Big 12 play against the Bears at Baylor. Men's tennis heads to California to compete in the Battle in the Bay, and women's tennis hits the road to compete in the college-ranked Spotlight tournament. And Arizona QB Kyler Murray made Hall of Fame history on Sunday after a win against the Raiders. Murray became the first player in the NFL to have a rushing TD, passing TD, two-point conversion run, and a two-point conversion pass in the same game. The Football Hall of Fame will display the football from the game soon and shortly. And a sweet ending to the end of an era. Roger Federer will partner with Rafael Nadal, his oldest rival, when he plays in his final professional match of his career at the Lever Cup in London on Friday. Carolynn and Bella, bouncing it back over to you.
Thanks, Milena. Make sure you stay tuned because next we're going to tell you about a new and exciting addition to Campus Corner.
That's right, Carolyn. Find out what could be the new hotspot in Norman coming up.
I'm Morgan Martin at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones took the stand today in Connecticut for his defamation trial. Jones, who falsely promoted that the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax, is attempting to lessen the damages he will pay. A 6-member jury will determine how much he will pay to the families who sued him and won. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Morgan. The newest addition to Campus Corner is officially open just in time for Parents Weekend.
The Noun Hotel is celebrating their grand opening with live music from Angel John on Saturday and a variety of game day celebrations for the OU versus K-State game.
OU Nightly's Madeline Hunter spoke to the hotel's general manager to see what the atmosphere is like.
Come in here and eat in our restaurant, you're going to get a more of an upscale experience, and then you go up to our one bar on a game day, and it's OU all, and everybody's cheering and watching the games and having a great time.
Anyone is welcome to stop in, regardless if you have a room booked or not.
And now we are going to get one last look at weather. Coy, should we expect to bring sunscreen to the game this weekend?
Yes, Carolyn, you nailed it right on the head. Bring that sunscreen, especially if you are tailgating at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium this weekend as we welcome in the K-State Wildcats. 95 degrees for that tailgate. Again, sunshine out there for kickoff at 7 p.m., but most of the stadium should be shaded. We're going to cool down into the mid to low 80s as we head past halftime on Saturday. 69 degrees overnight tonight, 93 for your Friday, 95 on Saturday. So be sure to hydrate if you are headed out to that game. And tailgating 91 Sunday. Temperatures knocked down as we welcome in a cold front. It'll feel a little more like fall, but not quite like it. Bella, Carolyn, back to you.
Thanks, Coy, and thank you so much for tuning in to OU Nightly. I'm Carolynn Felling.
And I'm Bella Roddy. Make sure to join us live at 4:30 from Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma Weekly. Good night.